Hi friend, I'm Shawna. Welcome to the channel and welcome to a new video. Today we have something fun and I mentioned it in my previous video about how I've been feeling a certain kind of way about my makeup collection, and today we are doing a makeup declutter. So here's how things are gonna shake down. I am doing what I'm calling like a fantasy makeup declutter, and I'm decluttering everything that I would legitimately want to get rid of in my perfect world. And I'm going to take those products and put them away for 6 months, set a little calendar reminder to check back in about October. And then at that time, we'll reevaluate and think about if I actually want to get rid of them and if I can find proper homes for all of the things. One of the reasons why I don't like decluttering, just personally, is because it just is wasteful, and I feel a lot of guilt about getting rid of things when I don't have homes for them. So some of the things I might just keep and work on painting over the next year, and then other things I'll get rid of hopefully in time, and finding homes for them. But that's not the only reason for this kind of style of declutter. By hiding some of this stuff away for 6 months, I'll be able to really see if how I'm feeling is reality. If I don't go looking for this stuff, then I know, it's time to pass it on. I've really been feeling this way about my makeup for a while, maybe 5 months, 6 months, maybe not quite 6, but there's that little voice in my head that's thinking, well, if you get rid of all of this stuff, you should be sure. And then you also need to find ways to make sure you're removing this stuff from your collection in a responsible way. This type of declutter answers both of those components. So without further ado, let me take you to my declutter. Let's go. Hello, good morning. Did I just want to make a big mess? Kind of, a little bit. Welcome to the video. So you've already seen the intro and we're doing it. I feel like it would definitely be nicer to separate out some of these categories, but I feel like before we go and do that, there are a handful of things that I know are just not going to go anywhere. And like, it's not worth bringing that entire category forward. Even if there's, let's say, blushes I know I'm going to keep, I'll still bring all the blushes and kind of do it somewhat section by section. So I'm just going to pull out, we're going to do, just from this mess here, we're going to pull out the primers, the foundations, concealers, and powders, and none of those are being decluttered because we're too minimal, and like we're gonna finish all of them. So foundations, I don't know, I wanted to make a mess. This is done. It just hasn't gone in the garbage yet, or my makeup recycling pile yet. I think these are all the primers that I have. And then concealer. Just have these two. And like, we're making some slow progress on this one. My Stay Matte. This is also completely finished. I don't know why it's around. I just have 2 mascaras, so these are going to come with me. My powders. Funny enough, when I was cleaning out my closet, I found this. I think I bought it last summer, and then it's not the right color. This is like super tanned Shawna. So we're going to save that for summer. Kind of the same deal with this. I should never have bought this color. So it will be stacked for the summer. So everything that's left is either a blush, a lip product, or like an eyeshadow, basically from what's on the table. So I think it might be easiest to do the eyeshadow first because they're like the biggest, chunkiest boys on here. And then we'll go from there. I just found these two things sitting on a random shelf. This is a Sweet Talk palette, which we need. This is a completely empty pan. So I have like 5 things that I've already found that are empty, that something needs to be done with them. In terms of what I feel compelled to give away, this one, I do like the colors. I've owned this for 2 years, since before my channel. How many times have you ever seen me reach for this? I think what I get so drawn into with this palette are these shimmers here, and I feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use them, but I never do. And I do think my preferences are leaning cool toned. And when I look at this, I'm like, oh yes, this is a beautiful palette. But then why do I never use it? And I always feel like I try to force it to make it happen, but it just doesn't. And why I've been very hesitant to give this away. It's a beautiful formula, but I've been into cool tones and I've just been afraid to get rid of it because I don't know how long that cool tone preference is gonna last. And these are such good basics. I feel like I'm talking myself back into it, but I don't need to fear getting rid of it because it's not actually going anywhere for now. This guy. I just see the color story and it just does not, yeah, it's cool tone, but I only ever make a couple of looks with it and I never really love any of them. Yeah, I think that's just it. I don't love any look I make with this palette. Similar vibes here. I think this is just overall too warm for what I like. And I just feel some redundancies. Like listen, this is a really beautiful palette and there's nothing wrong with the Formula Color Store. I feel like somebody could actually use this. When you compare it to my Modern Renaissance is beat to shit and it's old. They're not the same, but they're like similar vibes. So I would rather have somebody use this one. And then I feel like the last one is this. Look, I did a whole video with this and this is great. Like this is a good palette. I don't really have any issues with the formula in here. It's kind of the colors, like just the way that I do makeup. I did do some bold colors with these kind of ones as bold looks, but I don't use that a lot. I don't use this one a lot. And the kind of lighter shimmers that I would rely on a lot are these ones here. There's only 2 of them. It's kind of, again, similar vibes as Modern Renaissance. This also only has 2 shimmers. So I just feel like the looks I get with this are overall too similar. And most importantly, when I look at it in the pan, I'm just not like, wow, I want to make looks with that, or I know what looks I want to make. And I've already done a video on it, so I feel like that says something. I honestly think I'm good with everything else. The only other palette I might like consider would be this one. Because I don't use a lot of it, and you can tell the shade I use the most. I think Lara might enjoy this palette, but I don't know about this one. I guess I'll put her in the maybe. Oh yes, and then this guy. I don't use this. I'm feeling kind of uncomfortable right now, only in the fact that I have I've made comments about people saying that like I don't use this and have that just be the sole reason why they get rid of stuff. Because it's like, have you really considered why you're not reaching for something? And like, are you just bored with your makeup collection? And those kinds of comments. And I feel like I'm kind of saying the same things as I've like warned about, but in this instance, I'm not actually getting rid of anything. And I would love more than anything to go into this drawer in a couple of months and pull out something like, yes, I love this and miss this. But I also feel like this was not an impulsive choice. And I have been feeling this way for many months, like we're talking 6+ months. And by the end of everything, hopefully we'll have been at like, a full year since I've been like feeling this way about my collection, and then we'll know. Okay, so right now we're looking like 5 for the declutter, and then we have 9 that we're keeping, and then we have this one maybe. We're gonna do the single shadows next. Okay, so these are 2 shadow sticks. This one is Bobbi Brown. I got both of these as like gifts with purchase. I do like, actually I haven't used this one. What is this? Oh, that's really pretty. I'll keep both of these. But these are 2 fully wrapped color sticks, or I don't know, like eyeshadow sticks. They're perfectly like good to give away because they're brand new. So, or I bought them a while ago, and I just haven't been able to make up my mind as to what I want to do, so we can give these away. I also feel like this one right here, this is I Heart This. It's a really silvery color, and just as far as metallics go, silvers just aren't my jam. And then I think this one as well. I think this color is just too light for my preferences. It's a nice gold, but just in terms of like showing up on the eye, it doesn't do a whole lot. So I'm gonna get rid of this one as well. This is my most loved shadow single. Look at that dip. I feel like it's good to compare it to this one. Like this is basically fresh. You can see how much I've gone in on it. I'm also wondering, I've had Reflect in my project pan. Here's where we're at with Reflect. We've used a lot of this one too. And I'm just wondering how similar it is to, this is Smoke. Okay, I haven't had a full appreciation for just how much I've used of this one. Look at that. Amazing. That's what I love about project pans. No, this is very different, so we're gonna keep them both. And I do love, my goodness, I do love this formula. I think this might shock some people. This is my color, okay? I love this kind of, it's more like taupe than silver. No, I'm gonna keep it. I haven't been using it a lot, but I think I've just really been relying on my project pan items. we're good with that. I am torn about this one. I've had this in my project pan for like 6 months and I haven't used a lot and I don't love it when I use it. I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile. I feel like this is exactly the kind of thing that I want to, like, you know, have these moments for. Hold on. Okay, so I feel like we've talked about this before. This one is Charlotte Tilbury Oyster Pearl, and then this one is whatever shade 710 is. In my opinion, it always surprises me how bronze these swatch because I always feel like they look kind of gray on my eyes and cool toned on my eyes. I think what I need to do, I don't think I've ever worn these two together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in like I want to just keep one and I want to test out the formulas. Like I don't want to just keep this one because it's more expensive or keep this one because it's newer. I want to know which one I like more. So I think I'm going to do like a little wear test with these ones and then pick one. So I'll put them both in my little maybe pile. So we're for sure keeping 6 and I'm good with that. Who is ready to be shocked? Okay, I'm pretty sure these are all my blushes. And I think this is just gonna be way easier if I go through the ones I want to get rid of. And I'm kind of surprised I want to get rid of any of them, but there's a lot of redundancies. First of all, this MAC blush, this just did not go according to plan. This thing is so, I think it's so shattered. It's dried out and it's cracked. I feel like you can just see that it's a mess. We don't need that. I have like 4 of the same blushes and I like this formula the best out of these ones. But if I'm being honest, I like this formula even better. And then you have a powder and a cream. I don't need all of those when I have this one. Also, kind of surprising to me, I want to get rid of this one too. It's way too peachy for me. I do have other warm toned blushes like Salty Siren that is still like of the peachy vein. But like you can totally tell that they're like very different colors, and this one is such a light peach. I don't know, maybe I'll regret this choice in the summer and then I can just pull it out, but this is what I like more. And then I also personally feel like, listen, I waffle a bit on this because this is the peachy pink and I never loved this formula, and I repressed this to get rid of that big pan. This one I feel like is the experiment. Do I want this? Do I care about this? Here's the honest truth. And I would probably be fine without this. Do I have anything of that exact color? No. I feel like this is probably the closest. But, oh, actually those are like the exact same color. Only thing that kind of bothers me about this is like, it just feels like I wasted my money on this. And I know whenever I see that, there's always somebody in the comments who are like, oh my god, it's a fallacy. Like, I love that you're coming in here trying to make me feel better, but it doesn't change my mind. Like, it literally feels like I wasted my money. So I think in this instance, what I should do is put it in the declutter pile. Can I live with that choice? We'll see over time. Because this is supposed to be like my fantasy declutter. What I actually want to get rid of. I think I need to do it. So who is shocked? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One in specific has been kind of buried because of some of the overlap, and I would be happy for this to get more attention. And honestly, like, this is such an everyday favorite. I guess I feel like I've kept all the favorites. This blush, I feel like I could live without, but it's small and like I don't dislike it to the extent that I have disliked the other blushes, like more specifically like this one. It's fine and like I'm using it and like I have no problem using it, but yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Wow, I'm just like making a mess over here. We're gonna do lip products next because I feel like what's gonna come after is just like a random miscellaneous of just like whatever's left. Oh, I forgot my graph blush. I'm keeping this one, of course. Okay, this is not cute. We'll get to the lip liners later. There's a chance that one of them is missing. It's in a purse. Honestly, if it's in a purse, it's gonna stay because like you're there for a reason. So here are some easy let goes. This one is Rum Raisin. Never really worn it, and like it is that grungy kind of berry, but I don't wear it, and I don't think that I will. Like, it's been around for 2 years, and I've never, even when I was at my super grungy phase, I wasn't reaching for it or like excited to wear it. I think this is an easy pass as well. This is just not my color. This is like a dusty rose, or I don't know exactly, a mid-tone mauve. Not my color. Also, my boss took me to the Bite Beauty Lab and I made this color. It looks a little dark, but it's a sheer color and it's really nice, and I like made it myself. So obviously keeping that one, I just felt like I had to shout it out. A color that I just, look, this is a nice color, okay? This is a beautiful pink. I don't wear it a lot, and I don't find myself compelled to wear it a lot. It's not like I hate it, but I just don't love it. This color, I honestly want to get rid of, but we're so close to painting it. I feel like once I kind of level it out, then I'm just gonna call it. I'm not gonna dig into its depths and try and pull out all the color. So this one hopefully will be out soon. This one, I waffled. I actually didn't realize I had this. It got lost in a drawer, and when I was pulling stuff out for this video, I realized it was stuck. It's a bit like, what is this? And I just don't know that, like, I want to go through the trouble of painting this. I don't think this is my color. Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna, I like the sheerness of the formula. That's something that I do really like. I have come to really realize this year that I love a sheer lip color, and I'm kind of, you know what, we're gonna put this in the maybe pile so I can try it on. I don't know that I've ever tried it on, so I feel like I deserve that. Now, in terms of like what are my everyday kind of like wearable colors, it would basically be these four, like, and this one. Like, these are the nudes. You have a color like this, which is beautiful and I want to keep, by the way, but it's very peachy. That's not like all season. Beautiful, but not all season. I used a lot of, this is Fuller Fig. I used a lot of this in the fall, but just in terms of like what I'm drawn to, this one too. I just don't feel like it's super necessary, and like how many times it's a beautiful formula and a really nice bold color, but the amount that I've reached for them just to me doesn't warrant them hanging around. I do really like this one. This is, oh my god, look at this. This is such a mess. This is the kind of color and formula that I feel like is more of what I want. Like if I'm gonna get new lip products, I want them to be sheerer. I feel like that's just a game of, or that's just reality. It's not even like, how do I say this? I like something just overall lower maintenance. Yeah, I do want the, more opaque colors every now and again, and I do love a bold, don't get me wrong. Clinique Black Honey again, that's a good one that kind of fits into my vibe. What do we have here? Kind of sexy. This feels really warm. I don't like that. I feel like, you know what? I haven't worn this in a long time. I want to try this on. What? Can you see this? This has been in my... Is that... Those are white dots. I want to look this up to see if this is okay to keep, because this might actually be expired. I've never had a lipstick do this, and the last time I pulled this out, this didn't have that. I'm not going to take any chances with this. I'm like too creeped out. Like this is just going in the garbage. No, thank you. Okay. I feel happy with the rest. Look, I love chai, but I feel like this is on its last legs as well. I'm surprised that one hasn't gotten any mold. That's like one of the oldest ones in my collection. Let's just check everything to make sure we're good. This is half and half. This is also warm, and I don't know how I feel about this. I want to try this one on as well. I feel like I know what I want, and I don't know if that's it. If this is reality, I'm like a little bit shocked that I'm keeping 1, 2 everyday colors. This one is going to be great for the summer. So is this one. The rest of these are bolds. What is my life? I don't know what this choice is. I do really like this one, and I feel like it's time that this one gets like a little bit of love. This one will be kind of great for that everyday color in the winter. At least I hope. We'll see. I've been really wanting to wear it, but it just keeps getting sidelined. Maybe it's like a little bit more than I wanted, like just a little bit more impact, but it's, I feel like, close enough. I think in the future when I rebuild my lip collection, I don't mean that in the sense of I'm gonna buy stuff. I just mean like when stuff gets finished, I'm gonna have to replace them. And when we get to that over the next year to 3 years, I feel like there's just gonna be more of like this kind of sheer. Let me swatch my custom color. It's gonna be so boring, but this is what I wear. You see how much it took to build that up? Let me do one swipe here. Okay, I feel like that's it. And I'm left with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm left with 12 for sure's. Okay. Now let's look at the glosses. This is such a funny moment because I don't have like what would be some of my favorite. Oh, I have one that's missing. Okay. I do feel like my lip gloss moment is a little over. I don't feel as strongly about lip gloss as I did in the past, and also I know what I like. What I like is more of this vein, and there was a point where I was like super in love with these lifter glosses, and let me tell you, they are a beautiful formula. Like, don't get it twisted, but I do love a sheerer gloss. Closest thing is Tower 28, but I would want something that just has like a little bit of color to it, and this is kind of it, but this one is more of like the milky sheer. But what I like is, you know, like their classic formula, the first one, like they're just like their jelly shines or whatever they're called. Probably got that wrong. Those ones aren't the milky version. I still love this one, but I like this sheerer glosses kind of like this formula too, but this one is too sticky. Tower 28, I love it. If you have any gloss recommendations that are on the sheerer side and not sticky, drugstore or Sephora, let a girl know. Now, this color here, this was in a chopping block video, and I said that maybe I could paint it this year, and I've just kind of waffled back and forth on this because it is sheer and it is cooler toned. I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile, and the maybe pile is only gonna be like, do I want to throw this in a project pan? That would probably be the only circumstance in which I would keep it. And I know I'm trying to like do a fantasy declutter here, but the ultimate reality is like, if I can't find homes for some of this stuff, I feel like it's kind of in my, I should pan it. Like, that's it. And I feel like this one is going to be kind of something like that. The Merit glossy things, I don't like these. I tried decluttering, or I said I would declutter this one, and it still is around. I was gonna keep this one to pan, and I might just ask Lara if she wants this one, because I will pan it if I can't find a home for it, but I would rather not. So I'm gonna ask her about these two. It's not that this is just a formula that's not for me. Like, there's people who like lip oils, and I'm just not one of those people, and they're super popular right now. It's just a me preference. But also, she's not a gloss girl, so I don't know how she'd feel about that. I'm currently panning this one, and like, we're getting kind of close. And then you have these two as well as the Tower 28, which I love. Okay. Lip liner situation. I'm currently panning Whirl. I'm gonna keep Stripped Out, and I'm gonna declutter Spice. It's too warm for me. Maybe I feel like this shouldn't be too hard to find a home for, so we're gonna declutter it. And then as for like the red, I'm just going to keep this light one and get rid of this one. I don't have anything in this color, so I'm going to do that. Oops. Now let's do the miscellaneous, whatever is left. Okay, so here is what's left. This is kind of the miscellaneous pile, and I didn't pull out everything only because there's just some stuff like brow products that I'm going to finish, I'm going to use. But this was kind of in the handful of things. This I'm going to finish, so this didn't need to come out. This is the MAC Strobe Cream. I got this in a MAC order. I didn't select it, it just kind of came. I wouldn't have picked this for myself because I don't really like glowy products. But the good thing is that this will be easy to give away because it's like brand new, never even opened the paper packaging. So I could put this in a Poshmark order or give this away to maybe Lara if she wants it, but there's options, so that's good. Okay, if you've been on the channel anytime since 2020, you wouldn't probably remember this. I've been working on this slowly over the last little while because I haven't liked it, but I just felt too guilty about throwing it away. It is now since dried up and I'm ready to just throw this out. So yay for that. Also, this is kind of serendipitous timing, but this is the Laura Mercier like translucent powder. This was part of the Sephora birthday gift last year. I just ran out of my loose powder this week, so I was looking at getting a new powder. So this is just great timing. Okay, just highlighters left. Here's what I'm gonna do. This one I'm going to purpose. I'm going to destroy her and make a glowy body lotion out of it. I have decided I'm going to I'm gonna combine 2 body lotions together and then put this in it. So yay for that. Hopefully it works out and I'll have like a really cute glowy body lotion. That's what I'm hoping. I used to wear one when I was younger and I kind of loved it, and I saw Sarah Rose do it and I'm like, you know what, that's what this is gonna that's what's gonna happen to this one, because it's, y'all, this is gonna take me years and I don't care enough to spend years on this. So she's gonna become a body glitter. I don't know if you want to count this as a declutter or not. We're just gonna put it in that pile, and then we have 2 left, and I'm gonna continue panning this guy. So that's the final tally. These are all of the decluttered items, and there's 25 items here. And then there are 9 items in this maybe pile. At most, I would get rid of 8 because I'm deciding between these 2 things. I honestly have a feeling that I'm going to keep this one, potentially this one. But we will see. I'm not going to like force it, and I am going to, the goal is to actually, hold on. These do need to go in the declutter pile because I want to get rid of them if I can. And so because this is my fantasy declutter, I get to qualify anything as I want. Those 2 aren't a we'll see or let me try it, which is kind of like everything else here. And I do want to make sure I try on those MAC lipsticks. And there we go. I feel like that feels a little bit better. So we're going to set an alarm for 6 months, which will be roughly, like, we're just going to call this May 1st. It's April 23rd at the time I'm filming this, but just to kind of keep it even, we're just going to call it May 1st. So 6 months would be November 1st. And hopefully, I feel like that, I mean, a week, give or take, doesn't really matter. But also, I feel like the deeper that I could get into fall, the more that I'll know about some of these things that I wasn't totally sure about. And some of like the deeper colors, like maybe this one. So we'll see. Thanks so much for joining me today for my fantasy declutter. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, I'm excited to see how the next few months shake down. And thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope to see you again around here soon. Bye.